Hello there, welcome to CXC Math TV. Today we'll be looking at the Integrated Mathematics Paper 1, June 2016. My apologies, it's a little bit blurry. This is how I received the paper, so again, my apologies, but let's get into it and have some fun. So the first question says, if the equation ax squared plus bx plus c has complex roots, then if it has complex roots, then the discriminant is negative. The discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. Negative is when it's less than 0. So that would be option C. Right? That is option C. That's number 1. Alright. Number 2 says, if z equal, sorry about that, it tilt over. Let me do this. Number 2 says, if z is equal to 1 plus root 3i, then the argument of z is, now the argument of z, it's going to be equal to tan inverse of b over a. This is your a and this is your b, a plus bi. So it's tan inverse root 3 over 1. So all you have to do now is just take out your calculator. But the key thing is when you take out your calculator, you want it to be in radians. So we're going to go tan inverse, but put your calculator in radians. Mod radians 4. So tan inverse root 3 divided by 1 equal, there we go, pi over 3. So that is option C. Alright, really nice. You can tell them, you can tell them that was nice. Alright. Let me just increase the font size a bit. Yeah. Alright. Now, the next question, question number 3. Let's scroll out and move down to it. Number 3, it says the equation that passes through the point 3, 3 and is perpendicular to the line y equal 3x minus 7 is. Now, first thing is that if the line is going to be perpendicular to this one, then we know that the gradient of this line, let's call the gradient of the line we want m2, is equal to minus 1 over the gradient of this line given. When two lines are perpendicular, the product of their gradient is negative 1. So it's negative 1 over 3 because the gradient of this line is 3. Then now remember the equation of a line is what? Y equal mx plus c. Now that you have the gradient, so we can tell them now, when y is 3, the gradient is negative 1 over 3 and x is 3 plus c. Negative 1 over 3 times 3 is just negative 1. So this is saying 3 equal negative 1 plus c. So we transpose this equation by bringing over the 1 to the other side. So end up get c equal to 4. Alright, c equal 4. Once we get c equal 4, we're able to write down the equation of the line. The equation of the line then is going to be y is equal to, what is the gradient? Negative 1 over 3x plus 4. Notice that option is not there. It is not there because they want you to simplify the equation. So we're going to multiply through the equation by 4. By 3, sorry. If we multiply the equation by 3, look what we're going to get. Then this will become 3y, because 3 times the y is 3y equal. 3 times minus 1 over 3 leave minus x. And then 3 times 4 is just plus 12. But you can always bring the minus x to the other side to write it as 3y plus x equal 12. That's option A. Really nice. You know, a question like that, you just say, yeah man, that was nice. Lovely. That's number 3. Number 4, it says the shortest distance between the points 2 minus 5 and 1 4 is. all they're asking you to do is to find the length of the line. So we need to go back to CSEC mathematics. And remember in CSEC math, the length of the line is found by the square root of x2 minus x1. So in this case, it's going to be 1 minus 2 square plus y2 minus y1. So it's 4 minus 5 square. So the length of the line is going to be the square root of 1 minus 2 is negative 1, but negative 1 square is 1. Plus 4 minus 5 is 9. 9 square is 81. So the length of the line is just the square root of 82. So that's the distance between those two lines. Square root 82. Very easy. Alright. Nice. So we're having fun so far. Let's go to question 5. Question 5, it says the graph of y cuts the y-axis at the point. Now, remember, on the y-axis, what do we know? On the y-axis, x equals 0. So you can use any one of the equations and substitute x as 0. When you plug in x as 0, this would become y equals 0 minus 0 plus 3. So therefore, the point is telling you that y-intercept is 3. And so the y-axis intercept is just 0, 3. That's what we're saying right there. Number 6 says the maximum point on the graph. The maximum point on the graph is negative hk. This is your h, so the negative of it would be minus 1. And this is your k, the 4. So that's the maximum point, negative 1, 4, which is option A. Very easy. Nice. Alright, question 7. Question 7 says f of x equals 7 minus 2x, g of x equals x squared plus 1. We need to find g f of x. So to find g f of x, you put f of x into g. So putting f of x into g, this is going to become now, so g of 7 minus 2x. Then you put 7 minus 2x in for x in g of x. So it's going to become 7 minus 2x square plus 1. Now to expand this, it's going to be first term square, 49, minus twice the product of the two, minus 28x, plus second term square. 2x squared is 4x squared, plus 1. Then 49 plus 1 is 50. So that becomes 50 minus 28x plus 4x squared. So that is going to be option D. Now, I know that this line right here, many persons might wonder, how did I go through that so quick? There's a formula for expanding a plus b all squared. It is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Once you know this formula, you can expand these perfect squares very easily. Wow! Now, question 8. Question 8 says, if t equal ax to the n, then notice that the options have logs in it, so we need to take the log of both sides. If I log both sides, I'll get log t is equal to the log of ax to the n. But then I know that log a plus log b is equal to log ab. So I can write this by saying log t equal log a plus log x to the n. But by rules of logarithm, we can bring down the power. So this is saying log a plus n log x. That's what that is saying. So log t is equal to log a plus n log x. And that looks like option A. Nice. Alright, question 9. Question 9, it says if x minus 3 is a factor of x cubed minus x squared minus 9x plus a, then a is equal to, if it is a factor, they're telling us that f of 3 is equal to 0. So when you plug x equal 3 into the equation, you get 3 cubed minus 3 squared minus 9 times 3 plus a is equal to 0. 3 cubed is 27, minus 3 squared is 9, minus 9 times 3 is 27 plus a equals 0. But this question is so nice because 27 minus 27, that dissipate, gone. And now we're left back with minus 9 plus a equals 0. So a has to be equal to 9. That's the answer. A is equal to 9. That's it. Nice. Okay, so now we're finished with the first page. So let's go to page 2. Alright, now page 2 is very blurry. Alright, this is the only page that is this blurry. And as I said, this is how I received the paper. So I'll try to remark over what the question is saying. This is saying if 2 to the x equal 5, then x is equal to. That's what that is saying. I know it's a little blurry, my apologies. Alright, so now to find what x is equal to, you take the log of both sides. So log 2 to the x is equal to log 5. Then you bring down the power by the power rule of logarithm. So x log 2 equal log 5. Then you divide both sides by log 2. So this cancel, and so x is just log 5 over log 2. Log 5 over log 2 is option A. Alright, that's number 10. Alright, number 11, it says the function f of x. Alright, I'm just going to trace it over because I know it is really blurry. The function f of x, it says it's equal to x squared minus 3x plus a. And they say it's such that f of negative 2 is equal to 8. Then it asks for the value of a. So what we're going to do is just input negative 2 as x and set our y value as 8. So 8 is negative 2 squared minus 3 times negative 2 plus a. Negative 2 squared is 4. So that becomes 8 equal 4. And then minus 3 times minus 2 is positive 6 plus a. 4 plus 6 is 10. So when we bring the 10 to the other side, it becomes 8 minus 10 equal a. And so what we end up getting is a equal to negative 2. That's option B. This option right here is negative 2. Nice. Alright, now question 12. Question 12 says the sum of the first 10 terms of the geometric progression, and the geometric progression they have here is 4 plus 8 plus 16 plus 32 plus, and it continue. First thing is they give us the first term. The first term is 4. Now the common ratio is the second term divided by the first term. So it's 8 over 2. 8 over 4, sorry. And 8 over 4 is 2. And once you get that the common ratio is 4, you need to remember the formula to find sum of the first 10 terms. The formula is S10 or Sn. Let me start with Sn. Sn is equal to a in bracket r to the n minus 1 over r minus 1. So all we're going to do now is put n as what? 10. So S10 is now a, your first term, 4 in bracket, 2 to the 10 minus 1 over r minus 1. And 2 minus 1 is just 1. So you put that into your calculator. All you need to put in is 4 in bracket, 2 raised to the 10th power minus 1. That's 4092. So that is it. Nice. Cool. Now I know some persons would want to do it this way. Let's say it asks for the sum of the first 10 terms. I know there's going to be somebody that wants to say 4 plus 8 plus 16 plus 32 plus 64 plus 128. So that's the, how many terms that are gone so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need 4 more terms, plus 256, plus 512, plus 1024, plus 2048. If this is what you did, you're still correct. Alright? If you can just write out the first 10 terms and add them, that's fine. But you don't want to be doing all of that in an exam. Alright, you don't want to be doing all of that. Alright, number 13. Number 13, This right here, let me bold it up again. This is saying the modulus of 2x plus 1 is less than or equal to 4. So you need to find the range of values of x. Now, if the modulus of a is less than b, this is the rule now. If the modulus of a is less than b, then a is between b and minus b. That's the rule. So in this case, what we're saying then is that 2x plus 1 is between 4 and negative 4. So all we need to do first is subtract 1 from both sides to get 3, and 2x now is greater than or equal to negative 4 minus 1 is negative 5. Then we need to divide both sides by 2 to make x the subject. So when we do that, we get x is now less than or equal to 1.5, but greater than or equal to negative 2.5. That is option D. As I say, it's really blurry, but it's only this page, guys. It's only this page. Every other page is easy to see. All right, now this question 14, it says an arithmetic progression has a first term of 2. So the first term a equal 2, and it says the fifth term is 3 times the second term. Remember, the second term is what? The second term, let's call the second term t2, it's equal to a plus d. So it's the first term plus the common difference. Then the fifth term, remember the fifth term is a plus 4d, and a is 2, or first term is 2. All right? If you're wondering where I get this formula from, remember the formula is that the nth term of any arithmetic progression is a plus n minus 1 times d. So we'll plug in n as 2, that's how we get the one for t2. We'll plug n as 5, that's how we get the one for t5. Okay, now back to the question. So as we're saying now, this is t5, but they told us that the fifth term is 3 times the second term. So they're telling us that t5, which is 2 plus 4d, it's equal to 3 times our second term, 2 plus d. So we can use that equation to find the common difference. So we're saying 2 plus 4d is equal to 6 plus 3d. Group the d's on one side, so bring 3d over here to get 4d minus 3d equal, bring the 2 over there, 6 minus 2. 4d minus 3d is d, equal 6 minus 2 is 4. So the common difference is 4. Easy stuff, easy and nice. Question 15, it says, if A is the matrix, I'll write it over. A is the matrix 3 minus 5, 4, 0. And they tell us B is the matrix 3 minus 1 minus 2, 4. Then what is A times B equal to? So we need to multiply the two matrix. That's all they're asking for. This is literally regular CSEC math. This is a CAPE exam and they're asking this. This is CSEC math. So to multiply two matrix, remember we'll go row by column. So AB now equal to row by column. So multiply row by column. 3 times 3 is 9. So we get 9 plus negative 5 times negative 2 is 10. So that's 19 there. Then now we go first row by now second column of the second matrix. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Plus negative 5 times 4, that's negative 20. Then we need now 4 times 3 is 12. Plus 0 times negative 2, that's 0. Then finally 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Plus 0 times 4, which is 0. So A times B works out to be 19, negative 23, 12, negative 4. So 19, negative 23, 12, negative 4. That is, of course, option A. Nice. All right, question 16. Question 16, it says that at lumber yard, a saw is set to cut the wood 400 meters long. And they give us the 10 woods. And they say, these are the results. And they say, what is the mean length? Question 16. So you have to be able to skip out and navigate some of the chatting. The mean length is just the average. Remember, average is equal to sum of x over n. They tell us that the sum is 3998 over n. N is 10. So that's going to give us 399.8. That is option B. Easy stuff. The next part says, what is the median length? The median length going to be, we realize it's 10, right? So since it's 10, there is no real middle number, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the fifth one. And this is the sixth one. So the median going to be the average of them two there. Sorry about that. So the average of them two there now, 399 plus 400 divided by 2. We divide that by 2, we end up get 399.5, I believe. 399.5. So let me zoom out. 399.5. Here, 399. Alright, I don't see that option 399.5. So let me see again. This is the, is it in order? We have to ensure it's in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's in order. 399 plus 400 divided by 2. It's 399.5. Alright, 399.5. Definitely 399.5. So as we can see, there's clearly an error right here. There's no 399.5, so I'll put an asterisk. Now sometimes CXC make these errors, alright? Sometimes they're repeating questions from previous papers. They make a slight tweak to the question and they didn't modify the answer. I'm curious to know what CXC did for this question. Was all students awarded a mark? Because there's no answer there. The answer is 399.5. So I'm curious to know what CXC would have done. But that's 399.5. Alright, this question here, number 18, it says the lower quartile is, so the first thing is, let's hope that the data is sorted. Yes, it's sorted, so we can find the lower quartile. So this have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 numbers, right? 14. So remember that the position of the lower quartile is Q1, and the position of Q1 is found by a quarter of the n plus 1th term. So n is how much again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it's a quarter of 14 plus 1, which is a quarter of the 15th term, and a quarter of the 15th term, 15 over 4. 15 over 4 is, there we go, 3.75. 3.75. So because we're at the 3.75 term, we're in between, this is the third term and this is the fourth term. We're in between 36 and 39. So since we're in between these two numbers, to find the lower quartile, we take the average. The average of 36, so 36 plus 39 divided by 2, that is 37.5. Alright, just to check it here, 36 plus 39 divided by 2, yes, 37.5. Option A. Now question 19. Question 19 says, for a normal distribution, x follows the normal distribution with mean mu and variance sigma square. The z value for an x value greater than mu is always. So what they're telling you is that the x value is greater than mu. Remember, the z is x minus mu over sigma. So if x is greater than mu, let's give mu a value like 5. And x bigger than, if x bigger than, x is bigger than mu, so like 6. 6 minus 5 is what? 1. 1 over sigma. I don't care what sigma is. sigma is always positive. So since sigma is always positive, then we would know that overall z is going to be positive. Alright? So that's what we're saying right there. That's number 19. Easy stuff. Number 20, it says the lengths of a strips produced at a factory are normally distributed with mean of 160. So they give us mu equal 160 and a variance of 100. If they give you the variance, then the standard deviation is just the square root of that variance. So the standard deviation is 10. For a strip equal to 175.4, the z-score is, remember the z-score is going to be x minus mu over sigma, the same formula we use above. X this time is given to be 175.4 minus the mean of 160 divided by 10. And just punch that into your calculator. 175.4 minus 160 divided by 10. We'll put that in our calculator and we get 1.54. Option A. Very easy. Nice. Alright, the next one, number 21. Number 21 says if x follows a normal distribution with n being 10 and p being 0.1, then the probability x is less than or equal to 1 is, so x, let me write down the distribution. X follows a binomial distribution of np. Alright, so if we want the probability x is less than or equal to 1, that's just the probability x equal 0 plus the probability x equal to 1. That's all. Alright, so let's go ahead and work out this now. So the probability x equal to 0, that is just going to be 10, because n is 10. 10 choose 0 times 0.1 to the 10 times q 0.9 to the 10 minus 0, which is 0, plus it is then 10 choose 1 times 0.1 to the 1 times, alright, I flipped it around here. I hope you'd have been paying attention to that. This should have been to the 0 and this one to the 10th. And then 0.1 to the 1, and then this is 0.9 to the 9th power. Alright, so remember, this is the formula to work out the probability x equal to a for a binomial distribution. The formula is, this is how we do it. This is n choose a, whatever that is. Then it is p to the a, q to the n minus a. That's the formula. So that's how I got this formula here, just to refresh our memory. So now we're just going to put that into our calculator. 10 choose 0, close the bracket, 0.1 raised to the 10, 0.1 raised to the 0 power times 0.9 raised to the 10th power plus 10 choose 1, 10 choose 1, close the bracket, open up the bracket, 0.1 raised to the 1 multiplied by 0.9 raised to the 9th power. 0.7361. That is it. 0.7361. Alright? That is option D. Nice. See how easy that was? Very easy. Lovely. So you just need to remember this formula, guys. Now, question 22. Question 22, let me zoom back in. It says 2 letters are to be chosen at random without replacement from the word random. In how many ways can this be done if the order does not matter? So we're just choosing any 2 letters. We can choose R and A, R and N, R and D, R and O, R and M. And we can continue. But all we're doing is we're choosing 2 numbers from a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you put that into your calculator. 6 choose 2. 6 choose 2. That is 15. There's 15 ways you can do that. Option B. Now, part 3 says, what is the probability that the two letters chosen are the vowels? What's the probability that you choose these two letters? Now, if you choose A and O specifically, it's just one way you can get that. If you choose A and O, so that's 1 out of 15. To choose them two letters there specifically, 1 out of them 15 options there. Nice. Alright, question 24. Question 24, it says, it refers to the following table which shows the number of crops grown on 3 farms. What is the probability that a crop selected at random is lettuce? I know this page is also a little bit blurry. I don't know who took these pictures, but I just got them this way. So what is the probability that the crop selected at random is lettuce? So this is lettuce, right? Total lettuce, 135. So 135 out of the total 455 crops, that's the probability of getting a lettuce. So we just punch that into our calculator. 135 out of 455, that's equal to 27 out of 91, which is 0.296, which is 0.30. That's option A. Alright. Now number 25. Number 25 says, what is the probability that a randomly selected crop is from farm C given that it is lettuce? So the probability that a randomly selected crop is from farm C given it is what? Lettuce. I'll use L to represent lettuce. So from farm C, so I'm going to put farm C given lettuce. Now this is the conditional probability formula I want us all to remember. I'll write it above in blue. The probability of A slash B, it's equal to the probability of A intersect B divided by the probability of B. That's the conditional probability formula. So now let's go ahead and do this question. So doing this question now, it's going to be the probability that farm C intersect L. Let's look at the table and look at the intersection. So lettuce intersect farm C. Lettuce intersect farm C. See it here? 30 out of 455. That's the intersection. 30 out of 455. So that is 30 over 455 divided by the probability of L. The probability of L, let's go back to the table. L, lettuce. 135 over 455. So the answer does work out to be 30 out of 135. And you punch that into your calculator. 30 divided by 135. 0.22222. Option C. Really nice. Easy stuff. Come on, man. Too easy. Nice. Alright, question 26. Question 26 says, it refers to the following table which shows the weight and age of 5 persons. A scatter plot of weight against age will show. So we have to remember a scatter plot. Remember the equation of the line for the scatter plot is y equal a plus bx, right? I know we can just look at it and tell what is b, but just for practicing, remember the formula for b is equal to n times the sum of xy minus the sum of x times the sum of y divided by n times the sum of x square minus the sum of x all square. Now, why am I using this formula? It's good practice for you to emphasize what you have been taught. I know you can look at it and tell the answer, but please, just to emphasize what we've been taught, let's use up this question mark. So our x is age. This is x. So let's work out the sum of x down the bottom here. So the sum of x is, take out your calculator. I just like using these formulas. It's so beautiful. Alright, so 22 plus 28 plus 30 plus 36 plus 40. Add that up. I get 156. Is that really 156? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So that's 156. Just making sure I didn't make any error. Then the sum of y now, add those up, the weights. 45 plus 61 plus 68 plus 57 plus 64. But add them there up and we'll get 295. So the sum of y equal 295. So now all you need to do now is, of course, right here, so we need to just write down our xy column, xy, let's multiply them. So let's multiply them now. So 22 times 45, that gives us 990. Then 28 times 61, 28 times 61, that gives us 1708. 30 times 68, that gives us 2040. Then 36 times 57, that gives us 2052. And then 40 times 64, 40 times 64, that gives us 2560. Alright, so now just add up all of those down there to get the sum of xy. So 990 plus 1708 plus 2040 plus 2052 plus 2560 is equal to 9350. So this is 9350. That's the sum of x times y. Alright, finally the last one we're going to need is the sum of x squared. So let's just work out x squared here. Alright, this easy part. I'm not even going to put all of it in the table. I'll just put it in my calculator one time. 22 square plus 28 square plus 30 square plus 36 square plus 40 square. Alright, and we work that out, we get 5064. And so now we end up get b is equal to, b is now n is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 5 times the sum of xy, which is 9350, minus the sum of x times the sum of y, so minus 156 times 295, over n is 5 in bracket, the sum of x squared is 5064, minus the sum of x all square, so minus 156 all square. Now we're going to put that into our calculator. Fraction button. 5 in bracket 9350 minus in bracket 156 times 295, close the bracket, divided by 5, open bracket 5064, close the bracket, minus 156 all square. We work that out and we get 0.74, so it has a positive slope. Wow. So b equals 0.74. Now guys, you're probably saying, sir, you are crazy. Why would you do all of that? No, I do this because I love it. Passion. Now guys, remember b just means the gradient of your line. You could have just used y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 and it was clearly going to be a positive slope, right? Clearly. 64 minus 45 over 40 minus 22. This alone was sufficient for you. Use the extreme endpoints and it was clearly going to be a positive slope. But why did I use that long formula? Because of passion. Guys, you want to be utilizing everything that you learned, right? You want to use this would have given you positive value. But you just want to use everything that you learned just so it, you can say, yo, that did nice, that was so nice. So that's why I did it using the slope formula, but you didn't have to. Wow! Alright, question 27. Question 27 says the probability distribution of a random variable x is, so the probability x equals 3. So we need to find out what is p, right? So first thing we realize, this is 0.15, this is 0.25. So add them, that's 0.4. Plus p plus 3p must be 1. But p plus 3p is 4p. So 4p equal, bring over the 0.4, that becomes 0.6. Then you divide both sides by the 4. Divide both sides by the 4, so you get p equals 0.15. So, but the probability x equals 3 is just the p. So p is going to be 0.15. That is p. P equals 0.15. Question 28, it says 78%, or is that 75? It's so blurry, guys, that don't think it's challenging only for you. It's challenging for me. This page is also blurry. 75% of all children with allergic reaction reported relief after using a new drug. So 0.75 is P. And then they said that the drug is given to 8 children. So N equal 8. Once you get N and P, that is what? Binomial distribution. Because you have N and P. So that's binomial distribution. Alright. Now, question 29 says the probability that the medication is effective in exactly 2 children is, since it's binomial distribution, we need to find the probability now. Let me zoom out a little. We need to find the probability x equal 2. Remember, we used the binomial formula earlier. So it's just going to be n choose A. A in this case is 2. So it's 8 choose 2 times P, which is 0.75 to the second power, times Q, which is 0.25 to the 6th power. And you just put that into your calculator. It couldn't have been any easier. So 8 choose 2 multiplied by 0.75 raised to the 2nd power times 0.25 raised to the 6th power. We punch that into our calculator and we get a very small number. 8 choose 2, 0.75 squared, 0.25 to the 6. And I'm getting 0.384 times 10 to the 3rd power, and that's exactly 2 children. So this is 1, 2, 3. Oh, here it is. I was wondering where's the answer. So guys, notice this right here. It is 3.84 times 10 to the negative 3rd power. So we have to remember that we have to bring over. So we have to go 1, 2, 3. So this would have been the actual number then, 0.00384. Now I was there looking at the calculator like, but the answer is not there. But then you have to remember you have to round off. So round it off to 0.04. That's option A. So yeah, we have to look out for those stuff. Alright, now this is a repeat question from the paper we did yesterday. Well, maybe you wouldn't have seen it uploaded yesterday. Alright, but this right here is pi. Alright, so this is a repeat question. Couple more are repeated, but I just don't remember them straight away. Alright, this question here, it says, what is the value of the limit as x approach negative 2 of the square root of x squared plus 5? Now guys, before we do this question, guess what? We are in module 3, the best module on the paper. Wow! Which deal with calculus. So put in negative 2 now. So we'll get negative 2 squared plus 5 square rooted. Negative 2 squared is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. The square root of 9 is 3. So that's the limit, 3. Now it says the value of the limit as x approach 1 of this expression. First thing we have to do is factorize the numerator. That's the difference of 2 squared. So it's x minus 1 times x plus 1. And once we factorize the numerator, then we're able to now cancel the x minus 1, so remove the discontinuity. Then we're able to plug in x as 1. So now when you plug in x as 1, you get 1 plus 1 over 1 plus 4, which is now 2 over 5, which is option A. You have to remove the discontinuity. If you don't, then you'll end up with some error, like infinity, which don't make no sense. Alright, now number 33. Number 33, it says we need to evaluate the limit of f of x times g of x. Now, f of x times g of x, alright, let's just multiply them. So 2x plus 1 times x minus 3, that should be equal to 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. That's f of x times g of x. So the limit now, as x approach 3 of f of x times g of x is the limit of 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. So you plug in 3 now, so it's 2 times 3 squared minus 5 times 3 minus 3. 3 squared is 9. 9 times 2 is 18 minus 15 minus 3, that is 0. Option B, 0. Now, you didn't have to do it that way, guys. An alternate method is to find the limit of f of x. The limit as x approaches 3 of f of x would be equal to, plug the 3 here, 2 times 3 plus 1, which is 7. Then find the limit as x approach 3 of g of x, which is 3 minus 3, and that equal what? So the limit of g of x is 3 minus 3, which is 0. Then once you get the limit of f of x and the limit of g of x, you multiply them. 7 times 0 is 0, so the answer is 0. So you could have done it any way you wanted. You could have used the method in the blue or the method in the red. It's up to you. Your choice. Number 34, it says to differentiate this right here. So the rule now to differentiate it, f prime of x is equal to, you keep the first x multiplied by the derivative of the second, 1 over x, plus keep the second ln x times the derivative of the first x, which is 1. But x times 1 over x is just 1 plus ln x. That's option A. Easy. Nice. Now it says, which of the following rules can be most suitable for differentiating f of x equal 5x plus 3 to the 9? Now notice it says most suitable because you can use any rule you want, but chain rule is most suitable because we're going to carry down the power, subtract 1 from the power, then multiply by the derivative inside the bracket. So chain rule is more suitable. Question 36. It says a firm's marginal profit in thousands of dollars is given by p prime of x is this. And then it tells us to find p of x. So we just need to integrate. So p of x is the integral of negative 0.8x plus 6 dx. Add 1 to the power, negative 0.8x squared over 2, plus, this is then now 6x plus some constant c. But negative 0.8 over 2 is negative 0.4 x squared plus 6x plus c. So that is p of x, alright? Now, there's only one option with negative 0.4, so it's option D. Meaning, when you find c, c gonna be 5.1. The only thing you need to do to find c is plug in when x is 0.5, then y is 8. So 8 equal negative 0.4 times 0.5 squared plus 6 times 0.5 plus c. I guarantee if you transpose it, that will give you a c equal 5.1. But this is what it's going to be, option D. Now question 37, easy integration. The integral from 0 to 2 of 3x squared minus 6. So first thing, add 1 to the power, 3x cubed over 3 minus 6x. And we're integrating from 0 to 2. But guess what? These 3's cancel each other. So we can just input 2 now. So 2 cubed minus 6 times 2. And you don't need to input 0 because 0 times anything is 0. 2 cubed is 8. So you get 8 minus 6 times 2 is 12. 8 minus 12 is negative 4. That's option B. Very easy. Now this question says the critical value of the function f of x equal x squared minus 3x minus 4. Now critical value means stationary point. And a stationary point occurs when f prime of x is equal to 0. So this is going to be 2x minus 3 equal to 0 when you differentiate it. And transposing and solving for x, you get x equal 3 over 2. That's option C. Nice. Question 39. Question 39, it says a function y has a minimum value at x equal a. When d2y by dx squared exists, which of the following is true? Now, if it's a minimum value, then the second derivative is positive. If the second derivative is positive, which one is that? Option D. Second derivative is positive when it's a minimum value. Alright? So that is it. D. Alright, now number 40. It says the gradient of the function g of x equal 2x cubed minus 4x plus 3 at x equal 1 is. So first thing you need to find is g prime of x. G prime of x is going to be 6x squared minus 4. Then plug in x equal 1. So g prime of 1 is 6 times 1 squared minus 4. 6 minus 4 is 2. So 2, option B. Easy. Question 41. Question 41 says a function is defined as f of x is 2x and 4x plus 1. At x equal a half is, so first thing is we need to check out the limits to see if it's continuous first. Always check out the limits. So the limit as x approach a half from the left side, that would be equal to 2 times a half. 2 times a half is 1. Let's check the limit from the right side. So 4x plus 1, or plug in the half, we'll get 4 times a half plus 1. 4 times a half is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3. But guess what? The two limits, them are not equal. And so therefore the function is discontinuous. Why is it discontinuous? Because the limit from the left of a half is not equal to the limit from the right of a half. So in that case, we say that the function is discontinuous. It's not continuous at x equal a half. Question 42. When you integrate sine, you get negative cos. So this is going to become negative cos of pi minus x. But then you divide by the derivative of what's in the bracket. The derivative of pi minus x is negative 1 plus c. But then the negatives cancel, so you just get the cos of pi minus x plus c. So that is option A. Easy stuff. Number 43. Now the integral of e to the minus 2x, that's just going to be e to the minus 2x. Then you divide it by minus 2 plus some constant c. So that's e to the minus 2x over negative 2 plus some constant c. That's option D. Number 44. Number 44 is, now when you integrate 1 over 5x minus 3 dx, what you'll get is, first thing is realize that the derivative of the denominator is 5. So we need a 5 in the numerator. So put a 5 here and put 1 over 5 out here. So now this becomes 1 over 5 times ln the denominator plus c. That's your answer. 1 over 5 ln 5x minus 3. That's option B. Now it says dy over dx is x, then what is y? So y is now the integral of dy by dx. So you integrate x dx. And so when you integrate x, you get x squared over 2 plus c. So y is just x squared over 2 plus c, option D. And that's that. And so guys, that takes care of this paper. That takes care of the June 2016 CAPE Integrated Mathematics Paper 1. I really hope that this video was helpful. Keep on practicing, all right? And I wish you all the best prepping for your exam.